Change your diet, change your life, change the planet. Hanging out on the last day of the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and I've got a special guest here.
Hey guys.
Y'all probably know who this is, Harley Johnstone, the Durian Rider. Not the Durian Rider, Durian Rider, right? And a lot of you out there in the raw world, vegan world, know about Harley and you know about me. And we're essentially on the same team. We're trying to promote veganism and simple, clean fruit and vegetable eating, but a lot of people think that we're enemies and hate each other and all this stuff. It's just not true. I mean, that's, you know, there are YouTube personas and then there are real people.
That's it.
And when you get to know the real people, you find out that there's a whole story that you didn't know about, all right? So I'm going to ask Harley some questions that maybe he hasn't answered yet online.
Mm-hmm.
First off, how long have you been eating a diet like this?
I've been vegan since 2001, April, and I started raw foods in April of 2002, and really started getting stuck into it more in 2006, but vegan the whole time.
And what have been the biggest obstacles for you, the biggest stumbling blocks? Like, where have you fallen on your face? Because everybody does.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, at what point, what was it for you?
I've made so many mistakes. The biggest ones would be, when I first started, would be social disapproval. People were saying, oh, what about this, what about that? Second one would be situational inconvenience, where I knew what to eat, I knew what it looked like, I knew how to eat it, but I couldn't find it because I was traveling or couldn't get enough calories, you know, blah, blah, blah. So they're the two biggest hurdles I've had, and that's why I always tell people, have a backup plan so you don't end up all the way back eating the junk that you used to eat. So, you know, with the raw fooders, I say instead of eating nuts and seeds, maybe have some Adwala mango tango juice or steamed dates or some vegan rice dishes or whatever. Form a circle of foods that are going to work for you, and then have maybe a backup circle as well, like a little backup parachute, so you're not face diving the ground.
That's a really good analogy. So, like, what I'm envisioning is like a target. You got the bullseye at the center, and you want to hit the bullseye, but you can't always hit the bullseye. You're going to miss.
Yeah.
So you hit the second ring, and that one's worth not as much as the bullseye, but it's still worth a lot.
Exactly.
That's good.
So you're jostling between best and better. You know, you're jostling between first and second place versus going first to 10th place or 40th place. And that way, it's easy to get back on your ideal wagon versus falling right off. You know, and then having to run back on. You almost got like a foot off the wagon and your foot back on, versus your face planting off the wagon.
Yeah. Or you're in the front of the wagon, the middle of the wagon, or the back of the wagon.
Yeah,
depending on where you are, the wheels are going to go slower or faster. If your weight's up front, it's going to slow down.
Oh, that one as well.
Yeah, you know, your weight's in the back, the wagon kind of, you're pulling a wheelie along here, and
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
So you're still in the wagon, just make the wagon a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I say I'm 100% raw vegan 95% of the time, because sometimes I'm traveling or I'm at somebody's house and I don't have an option, and I'm an athlete, so I have to eat. You know, I've had people say to me, oh, if there's nothing available, I just don't eat. Well, I can't do that because then I can't train.
Yeah.
So I've got to eat something, so I find what is the healthiest choice in this mix. And sometimes, you know, I'm doing some brown rice, sometimes I'm doing some steamed veggies, sometimes I'm doing some oatmeal, whatever it is.
Definitely.
It's not common, but you got to allow yourself wiggle room. You don't beat yourself up.
No.
You eat it, you move on, and then you just go back to trying to hit the bullseye again.
Yeah, it's like one time my bike got stolen in Malaysia, and it's my race bike. It was awesome. And instead of not cycling at all, I got a secondary bicycle, which wasn't my preference, but it was better than having to walk and carry my heavy bags around the tropics. So again, it's like you could have a backup plan, have your ideal, but have a backup plan, versus pull out of the whole holiday and go, I'm going home now because, you know, I pull out the whole health thing because I can't do this, so I'm just going to go back to junk. And I think that's what people do as an excuse, perhaps, is like, if I can't do it perfect, I won't do it at all. If I can't win every single running race or every single bicycle race, then I'm not going to bother at all. I think it's like the lack mentality where we make excuses while we can't do something good.
And they put too much pressure on themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I remember cycling across Australia and going, I want to eat fruit, but I wasn't really organised with it, and so I'd be eating, you know, like jam sandwiches the whole way across from Adelaide to Perth. But the whole time I was like, wow, I really enjoy some fruit here. And then there was another part where I cycled across the other part of Australia, and it was easy to get fruit. So again, it's have the backup plan. For me, it's got to be high carb, it's got to be vegan. But I'm always going to go for fruit as my preference.
Now, a lot of raw leaders, whatever you want to call them, have gone to eggs and have gone to dairy and have gone to, animal products. Me personally, I don't see a reason to ever do that.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
my primary reason for being vegan is an ethical choice.
Definitely.
So if I'm missing a certain fatty acid, I'll take a supplement. But I'm not certain, looking at the science, that I am missing any fatty acids. B12, if it need be, I will take a supplement.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, all the people that say, oh, you need B12, therefore veganism doesn't work. Oh, you need EPA and DHA, therefore veganism doesn't work. Okay, so you mean all those foods that you're eating aren't fortified with riboflavin and thiamine and B12 and everything else, fortified with iron?
Yep.
So the average diet, the standard American diet or standard diet anywhere in the Western world is so heavily fortified. Here we are, maybe we need 2 or 3 nutrients, maybe. The rest of the world on this so-called, real diet, normal diet, everything they eat is fortified and supplemented, and then they're still taking a multivitamin.
Yeah.
And they're still getting sick, and they're still getting fat. So they're looking at us and saying, oh, you need this, therefore it doesn't work. Okay, let's take away all your fortification, take away your multivitamin.
All your protein powders.
All your protein powders.
Your fish oil and, B12 supplements from your paleo, primal, ortho, whatever. It's amazing.
So do you ever see yourself going to a diet that's not vegan?
No, because there's so many vegan foods to eat.
Exactly.
Like one of my friends the other day was going, I need something meaty, so he had some raw liver and then he had some cooked liver. And I'm like, dude, just eat some tofu or something. Like, have some tofurkey or some, what I have one time, coconut curry tempeh from Turtle Mountain, whatever it was. So just have some yummy plant foods versus going to dog food. Why eat dog food? Eat plant food. There's plenty of plant foods to eat. Just eat plant food. Don't eat the dog. Leave the vulture food for the vultures. And it helps save the planet. Why rape the oceans when we can eat plants? Or if you have to eat animals, then eat some roadkill, or go to the pet shop and eat the dead kitten. It sounds crazy, but that's meat. That would be ethical, but it's still crazy because we're not designed to eat meat. So eating dead kittens or roadkills or whatever is nuts. But if someone's into ethics and local farming, then that's what they should do. But no one's going to do that because it's crazy, and it is crazy. Eating meat, eat some plants.
Harley and I have said this a million times, but if you look at the strongest animals on the planet, they're herbivores.
Plant eaters. Plant eaters.
I lost the question, but it's going to come back. I'll edit this out. Don't worry.
You're probably thinking, Harley's saying eat kittens.
Yeah, I know, you threw me with the kittens. You threw me with the tofurkey.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that? Tofurkey. If you switch the syllables, you get faux turkey. Have you thought about that? Tofurkey becomes faux turkey? Is that did they think of this, or is it just coincidence?
I don't know, man.
Are they evil geniuses, or is it just... I don't know. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So when I started running raw, man, I came out of the gate swinging. I was like, vegan, raw. I was, the super cheerleader. You're all wrong. You're all a bunch of idiots. And, I've tempered my message over the years, and now I really try to make it accessible, not controversial, and that's a choice. I've filmed lots of videos that are controversial. I just don't put them up. Nobody gets to see those. But what is your transformation been? Like, where did you start when you were doing the videos? Where are you now, and where do you want to go?
I'm 7 lawsuits later.
So you're not afraid of the controversy?
15 million views later. I think I like to go controversy, but I also like to educate as well. And put a bit of humour in there, and avoid making it a personal thing versus attack a person. I like to critique that person's information or critique that debate versus, make a... That's all I like to do, is keep the debate focused on the debate versus making it personal. And yeah, it still gets me sued, but maybe that's my style people misinterpret, because I just want to help people at the end of the day. And I think things like YouTube and Facebook and internet, it's just a great way to get your opinion out there and share your message. It's just opinions at the end of the day. It's just sharing of experiences. So I don't take anything personally, and my style is, I like to, razz it up a bit, get people thinking. And if some people feel like they're getting attacked, whatever, then that's unfortunate. They feel that, but definitely, end of the day, my goal is to help people, and anyone who spends time with me, then they can see that.
Yeah, he offered me the use of his laptop while I was here because I forgot mine. So he's a good guy. He's a very generous guy.
So I could hack into Tim's passwords later on.
That was devious. All right, so this is what you're doing now. You're a health educator,
Yes.
you've got your YouTube channel, you're probably making a good deal of your income from that.
Definitely.
What do you see for yourself in the future? How do you see this progressing?
Writing books. I'm writing at the moment, and my goal is to have a New York Times bestseller out there, and just make it a total controversial book, a book that people just talk about in gyms, people talk about in doctors' clinics, people just talk about it because it's just so truthful yet controversial, and that's what I'm doing at the moment.
So the raw Australian version of Skinny Bitch.
Yeah, well, the vegan version, and obviously raw foods, but I want to get the people waking up a bit about the plant food message for sure. Because I think there's enough great raw food message books out there, like 80 Thin 10 or things like that. But I want to get different angle there I'm working on.
A lot of the people that come to my channel are athletes interested in athletic performance. They stumble across my channel. They don't know that I'm raw or vegan.
Yes.
And then, over the course of watching a few videos, they find out, but it's brand new to them. It's alien. So to someone that has stumbled across your channel, what do you think would be the most important thing to say to them to help them get on the path, stay on the path, and not feel like an alien or a freak?
I'd say don't take anything personally. Follow your heart, get to bed early, drink enough water so your urine is clear, and have at least 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day. Be it your favourite fruits, be it rice, fruit, be it bananas, dates, mangoes, or if you want to get starches, rice, steamed potatoes, things like that. 5 grams of carbs per pound of body weight per day. And just train smarter versus harder. Follow your heart, again, follow your heart.
For me right now, this is not so much a dietary journey or an athletic journey anymore. It's an emotional journey. It's an understanding of who I am. What is my heart? What does it want? Where does it want to go? And that's what I think is the most important thing you can do. Rather than looking for an external fix, a diet that's going to fix you or exercise that's going to fix you, who are you? What do you want? How do you want to impact the world? How do you want to impact your family? How do you want to impact yourself? Find your truth and then move on it. And the tools that Harley and I talk about will help that process. It'll be easier when you're thinking clearly, when you're feeling clear, when you've got more energy, when you're not weighed down, when you're in the wagon, either the front, back, or middle, you're moving. That's all that matters. And this diet definitely makes a big difference. And I personally don't see a reason to get off the vegan diet and go towards animal products. If you need a supplement, take a supplement. It's death-free, it's cruelty-free.
And remember that 99% of supplement purchases out there are eating animal products. Go to the vitamin shop, go to GNC, just saying.
Yeah. The people that take the most supplements are generally eating meat and animal products. So why do they need all these supplements if their diet is superior to ours? Doesn't make sense.
But it makes a lot of dollars.
All right, tell us about your channel, tell us about your website.
Channel Durianriders and website 30bananasaday.com.
30 bananas a day. I don't think I've ever had more than 4. That would be like a massive gut bomb. If I had 30 of anything a day, let me think about that. No, I've never had 30 of anything in a single day.
30 miles a day.
30 miles a day, there we go. Well, Harley, you should see this guy working on the computer. He works like 30 hours a day, answering all your questions on YouTube and on the forum. He's a machine. So up every night and they're cranking. So he really does a lot of hard work to help educate and get the message out there. And I know he and I have very different styles, but we're trying to do the same thing. Yeah, same page. All right, so peace.
See you out there.
And next year, Woodstock Fruit Festival.